to the Reality Receipts podcast, starring me, Storytime with Rikkii.
And me, Reality Ashley. Thanks for being here with us today. We are going to be talking about the Valley. We've been waiting for this one for a while, so we're super excited. But before we get into the Valley, Rikkii was just mentioning she's going on a little bit of a online dating adventure. So tell us about that.
Okay, so
I want the tea.
I'm back in the trenches. Oh my God, I'm back in the trenches. I re-downloaded Hinge. So I re-downloaded Hinge, which it makes me so sad. Because I'm just back in the trenches. So for those of you guys who don't know, actually Storytime with Rikkii started out on YouTube as dating content. Like, that's what I made Storytime with Rikkii for, was to like do my dating content and tell my dating content. And then you know, I just kind of fell into like the reality TV of it all, and here I am. But last year I started posting dating content on TikTok, and it was really fun, right? So I was like, you know, doing get ready with me's, and I was updating everybody on dates, and everybody really loved it. But I got burnt out. So in like October, I was just like, I'm deleting the apps. I'm going to take a break. But then that's what I always do. Like, I take a break, and then I look up, and it's like years, and it's like, you haven't been on a date, you haven't like nothing, girl. It's lonely as shit.
Get back out there.
So I think I deleted the app and took a break in October, and I haven't been back on the apps. I tried to sign up for Raya in January, but they be Ashley, like, they do the most. Like, they like put you on a wait list, and like, and you have to pay for the shit. And I heard it's not even really that good. So, Raya wasn't letting me in. Raya didn't let me in.
Don't you need like a reference or something?
I guess, but it's really like people in your contacts that have the app. You can use them as like your referral or whatever. So Raya didn't let me in. I was I really need to get back out there. So I don't know why Hinge. I know there's so many other ones, but it's like, I can't think of them. So I set the preferences to like really, like not really old, but I set the preferences to a lot.
I thought you were going to say young.
No, hell no. I'm not doing 30 and under. So I set the preferences to like high. Like, I set it to like 45 to like 60. So I'm like, hopefully like you get some like grown men.
Oh, they're grown.
Oh, they grown all right. None of them got no hair, okay? And it's just like, it's like really an ego boost. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's like, if you're ever feeling like you need an ego boost, just download Hinge, make a little profile. I woke up to like 100 likes. I'm not even joking. I was like, oh, okay, a bitch still got it. No, just like
sometimes you need a reminder, right?
Yeah, and it's like, I could just go outside, but for whatever reason, guys do not approach me when I'm out. And you guys see me looking crazy, but like when I'm like really done up, like, let me show y'all my profile. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek of my profile, which I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'd be like, I mean, I look like this when I go out and when I like dress up, but like, it's like,
you look good here too, though.
It's like really like bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've seen all these pictures because you follow me on Instagram. So a little straight hair moment.
She has
curly
a lot of good content on there. Lots of nice dresses, lots of good workout content. So, that's the private one.
Yeah. I love dressing up. Like, I love, like, you know, just doing like full glam. So that's how I am when I go out on dates. So I was like, okay, like, I have all these new dresses. I'm not dating anyone. I really want, like, I want to meet somebody, like, you know, I want to get married. I want to be like Ashley and just be married, and I don't want kids.
And boring.
I don't want no kids, but I want to be like Ashley and be married. So, so this was,
you know, when I met my husband, I didn't even have a cell phone. So that's how long ago we're talking, like way, way back. So all this stuff, like, dating apps and all of that. I never got to do any of that. So it's
You're lucky.
interesting to me.
You're
Sometimes, because I used to work in restaurants, so I had lots of younger friends. So they would be on the apps and just like scrolling and out. They'd let me like do it for fun. Sometimes just like X everybody. So I'm like, sorry, that one looked kind of good, but I accidentally went the wrong way because I don't know how to use it.
It's exhausting because it does seem like people are just like too accessible now. Like, you know what I mean? Like women are just so accessible to men or vice versa. Like I said, like I think within a day I have like freaking 30 matches. Like I'm not
That's
even
so
like responding.
overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. And that's why I took a break, because if you don't, I think you will get overwhelmed. And I try and look at it from a place of fun. Like, this is exciting. I get to wear my dresses. I get to do content. I get to come tell you guys about it. Like,
give us stories.
You know, give you stories and do my story times again. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to look at it from that angle. But I do hope that I meet somebody good. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's a catch-22, right? Like, I've met people who have met their husband on dating apps and have great experiences, and then I've met, you know, people that are like, oh my God, it's like the trenches. So now I do feel like I'm back in the trenches. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like, oh my God, I'm so sad to be back here. But here we are.
Before the apps, I feel like it was so much easier to like settle down with someone because it was so much effort to meet somebody, right? And so when you finally met someone, you're, especially for men, not calling all men lazy, but that's a lot of work to like go outside and actually approach someone and go on a date. It was a lot of steps. And so that's why they were settling down so much faster back then, because it was like, okay, this took a lot of work. I'm not doing this again. So. Right.
And now, like I said, it's too accessible.
Yeah. It's like on your phone, like ordering DoorDash.
Ordering people like you know what I mean? So and it's like half the conversations don't go anywhere, and then it's like, you know, it's like it is really like finding a needle in a haystack, and it's like finding somebody that you connect with and have chemistry with. I did actually connect with one guy. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you know all about Christmas Tree Boy. Yeah. That we did connect, and we dated for a few months, and then that ultimately went to shit. So but I haven't dated in a while. Well, you know, but whatever. You know that tea.
There may be some off-pod secrets. But
there's some off-pod secrets that maybe one day I'll share. But basically, I need to get back out there. So here we are. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on the dating journey if you guys want. And
not to sacrifice you or anything, but do it for the plot for us, because we would like to hear some stories. So maybe do a couple that don't seem like your type, just for fun, to see what happens, because you never know.
There's no way that all 30 people that I liked are like actually my type. So I have been trying to like, okay, he's not like my typical type, but like, let's see. You know, nobody has hair. Ashley, no, everybody's bald.
Well, that might be the age range that you have it in. So.
I can't. I just think that under 40 is just going to be so unserious. I can't do it. You know what I mean? Anybody under 40 is so unserious. Like, the ones over 40 are so unserious, but unfortunately the ones over 40 don't have hair. So I guess that's just a little compromise that I'm
You need that sweet spot of like 42, like right before the bulb comes. There is like, I don't know if you watched Seinfeld, but there was this episode where like the guy was like starting to lose his hair, and that's when you gotta lock them down, because they're realizing their hair's going, and they're like, okay, I have to get married within the next year. So that's the perfect time to meet someone. So you just need to find that like age range. But not that there's anything wrong with a bald man. Like,
there's not, but you know, hair's nice. I'll have some stories for guys. Actually, I took some screenshots of like some of the stuff that they say, like, because they can like, I'm not going to show anybody's name, but like they say like little stuff to your pictures. So I took some screenshots of some funny ones. Hi, Rikkii. You have been guilty of having an interesting profile with nice pics. As the presiding judge, I find you guilty as charged.
Oh, no.
How about we do a sidebar to discuss your sentence? I will be lenient. LOL. Steve.
Is he like a judge or a lawyer? Like, is this relevant? Or
I don't know, but it was an absolute fuck no.
Yeah.
It was an absolute no, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad because, like, you know, if they're boring and they're just like, hi, that sucks. And if they're, like, silly and cringy, you're like, oh, that's annoying. So, like, they need to find that good middle ground of, like, not boring, but not
cringe.
Too much. So, yeah.
That was too much. I was like, dumb.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. So, but it will create for some funny moments. So there's
yes.
that. So,
well,
I'll do it for the plot. I'll do it for the plot.
Thank you. We're very excited because I got nothing. Like, I spent 2 hours at baseball last night, so my life was not that thrilling. So I appreciate you adding a little bit of excitement because I don't think anyone wants to hear about baseball practices and kids things. So
I'm sure there's somebody out there that does. There's somebody that can relate to, like, oh my God, like, this mom forgot to bring the snacks. Right? I had to double do snacks.
We literally, hockey season finished like 2 weeks ago. Then they give you like the tiniest break, and now it's baseball season. So it's just crazy. But I mean, I have 2 boys, and they're full of energy all the time, all day. So if you don't have the activities, you're really just hurting yourself. So like, we need them. It's a must. But it keeps you busy driving around. So
that's funny. Yeah. So,
yes. Well. Oh, before we do the Valley, do you watch something about, we were talking about Monica and Ben from Love is Blind, they were sort of making it look like they had a little thing going. We were a little bit skeptical. So did you see like an interview he did? He said no, right? They're not
right. He did. What was the name of the podcast? I want to make sure I give them their credit. But yeah, he did. He sat down. He did a podcast, and they like straight out asked him like, "Are you and Monica dating?" And he said no.
No.
He's like, and they literally said, "Are you guys just trolling?" And they're like, "Well, we're just having fun with it, and we're letting social media basically think what they want." But he outright said no. And then it's so funny because somebody actually DM'd me this morning, was like, "Hey, I saw Monica and Ben out at a bar.
Oh no,
I have pictures, right?" And then I'm like, "Were they kissing or like, you know what I mean?" Like, I'm like, were they kissing? And she was like, "No, it was just friendly." I said, "Okay, well, we know that now. We already know, unfortunately."
Yeah.
So
I think it was obvious that they probably wouldn't be actually dating. And normally I find that like silly clout chasing stuff annoying where they do this after the season. But I feel like with the Sarah and Joey of it all, and they're like always out posting together with their little group. I don't blame them for, I mean, what's your options? Monica can be
sorry, I was trying to find the name of the podcast because I want to give them their credit. I'm like, what's the name of it? You know,
we'll look it up and we'll maybe write it on the screen or something, or put it in the comments so you guys can find it. But it was just yesterday he did it. But yeah, I don't blame them for getting in on the after season stuff because their other cast all seems to be friends and they're kind of left out because of Sarah and Joey. So I don't blame them.
Yeah, it would have been epic though. I think it would have been. That would have been like a really. Like, if they were dating, or even if they left it ambiguous, like... Yeah,
just for a little bit longer.
I would have been, like, if I would have went on the podcast, I would have kept it more, like, open-ended. Like, I don't know, you'll have to see. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to, like, create the speculation. Because in the comments, it kind of seemed like, you know, Monica was alluding to maybe that they are, and then now we just have a definite answer, and it's just like, oh, that's no fun, you know? So maybe maybe next time you're out at a bar, kiss or something, throw us off so somebody can send me that picture.
We still don't know why. Like, he was in Colorado for a couple of weeks after the filming, and obviously that's where next season is.
Yeah.
It could be totally unrelated, but I'm like, what's going on there? Is he dating someone? Or maybe. You know, we're already getting the cast list together for Denver, so we won't do any. That's too far ahead right now. But
we'll lose you guys. Like,
eventually we'll start spilling the tea on the Denver cast because before we know it, it'll be another Love Is Blind season. It happens so fast.
It does happen so quickly.
Yes. So should we get into? Oh wait, do you want to talk about Cara being on the Val Files? Obviously, we didn't get to talk to her here, but she did the Val Files. She's the $1 million secret winner, so not really any tea there. She just kind of went over what happened on the show and that she really does work at In-N-Out. I guess a lot of people were still wondering, us included. So I think the In-N-Out thing, I mean, I think she does work there. She said she does, but I think it's more of like she just quit. But I think it's more of like a side gig. Like if you go to her Instagram, it's obviously like the bikini pictures, and she was tagging a lot of shows for the last couple of years. Like I think she was wanting to get on TV, obviously, which a lot of them obviously are, or they wouldn't be there. So,
right.
But I don't think it was ever going to be like her career. I think it was something she was doing until she got on TV.
Right.
But they did not ask about her and Corey. So, I mean, no one has given us any tea that anything went down. Obviously, they're not single, so that would be drama. That would be big tea. But, you know, we've heard little crushes were going on, so they didn't ask about that.
Potential crushes. And Corey was liking old bikini photos.
Yeah, that's a little tea. From a couple of years back. So I'm sure that's just because they're friends. So.
Yeah.
Well, there was a little cast trip. I can't remember who told us about it, but they went back to the chateau where they filmed recently, like within the last couple of months. There was just a few of them, like Sydney, Corey, Cara, and Sam, I think. All four of them went on a little trip there. So
cute.
Yeah, and she said she talks to Sam and Corey the most still today. So.
And she did Harry Jealousy's podcast too, right?
Oh, yeah, I didn't listen to that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I was like, Harry Jealousy, Nick Viall. I got to pick between one of these. I mean, Nick gets all the best interviews, so no shade to him.
Yeah, Cara's actually the only one that like didn't want to talk to us, which I guess...
Yeah, she's the star. So
they'll be back.
I wonder.
Well, Corey was supposed to talk to us, but then he fell off the face of the earth. So maybe he's too cool for us too.
I'll blame myself for that because he did want to see us last Friday, but I was going to Luann, so we crammed in so many interviews in the last couple of weeks as much as we could do. We wanted to talk to everybody, but I mean, it's not too late. Maybe we still will.
Maybe. Yeah.
But our schedule. I thought he might pop up on like the Viall Files or something, but it looks like they only talk to the winner. So
the winner. Yeah. Okay. Well, good for her.
Yeah, I don't think they actually watched
it. Did
she
say what she did with the money, or
she didn't get it yet? They're crazy like that. They don't give it to them until after it airs. I guess because it would be obvious, right? Like you go and look. Oh, look, Cara's not working at In-N-Out, and she bought this and this. Like, I guess it's for spoiler purposes, but yeah, they don't get it until
she didn't get it yet.
No.
So when is she supposed to get it?
She said, she was like, it's on the way from the bank. And they were like, isn't bank transfers pretty quick? But
very quick.
Gabby, you didn't watch The Traders, but Gabby was just complaining about the same thing. She was one of the winners of The Traders, and she was like, still haven't got paid yet. And it was filmed like a year ago. So I understand, though, like why they wouldn't be able to until it airs, because it would be a big spoiler. You'd have to trust that they're not going to spend it, and they are, so... But yeah, she has not got the money yet, so we don't know.
So life is about to change, like currently, right now. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
She said she wants to start a family because she's married. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But then they also asked her like, would you do Traders? And she said yes. So maybe we'll see them on more shows. I would like to see any of the cast on another show. I liked them all. So
yeah, it was a really good cast for sure.
Yes, we had lots of good chats. So
yeah,
go check those out if you watched $1 Million Secret.
Yeah.
But now, totally switching gears, now we'll get into the Valley. I've been so waiting to talk about some Bravo stuff on here. So I'm so excited.
So good. It was so good.
I think I said on our last episode that the producer said it was going to be like the best second season of reality TV he's ever done. So it's off to a good start. So.
Yeah, that trailer that they showed at the end of episode 1 of like what the rest of the season's going to be. I was like, oh, this looks like good stuff. So
yeah, I know. And it's like, it's not really a spin-off of Vanderpump Rules. Like, I don't think they've ever labeled it as that, but it is like the next step in their lives, like getting married, having babies. So it's interesting that like half of them are not actually doing that. Like half of them are getting divorced and a big mess. So
what do you feel about the spin-off aspect of it though? Because I feel like I like the Valley better than I like the last season of Vanderpump, and I would like, and I know that they recast Vanderpump, so those people are gone. Like, you know, I wouldn't be mad at seeing some of the Vanderpump cast.
But that's how I feel too.
I want them to kind of move over there and transition onto the Valley and like, you know, just to keep up with everybody, you know?
Yeah, I'm not ready. Like I know we had our issues with Sheena and Lala, or I did at least last season, of Vanderpump because we really wanted to see like a girl power season, and we really thought that it was handed to them of like, that's clearly what people want to see, and we don't need to see Sandoval, and like we want to see you guys rally together. But I think they were like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Not that they're ever like forced to do anything, but I think the producers really wanted a way to like get Sandoval back into the fold, and so they really weren't, they thought it would be boring if it was just like the girls against the guys. So I don't mind that Sheena and Lala are on the Valley. That doesn't bother me. I like the little tie-in still to the old world, and like I said, I still want to see them. So
yeah, and we saw Schwartz on this episode too.
Yes, I know.
I mean, I didn't watch the last season of Vanderpump because it was boring. I think I would have, as much as people hate her, I think, the Raquel dynamic would have been good because it was such a big part of the storyline to like have her back and see what happened there. But yeah, I'm not mad at seeing Schwartz. I want to know what's like, or is he dating? What's going on in his life? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I like seeing them like sprinkled in for sure.
He did have, I know, I wish it was like a little bit more like Katie, and obviously Ariana's moved on, so.
Ariana is way too big. Yeah.
But Schwartz did have a girlfriend, a quite younger girlfriend. I think she was like 24-ish. Okay. And then I don't know if they're still together. I've heard they've broken up. I've heard they haven't. If they are broken up, that's kind of interesting because I did sort of get the vibe like because she met him at the restaurant and like, it kind of gave I want to be on the show maybe. And so once that was canceled, I kind of wonder if she was like, oh, never mind, let me get out of here. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Is James still with Allie?
Oh my gosh, Rikkii.
Am I out? I'm out of the loop? They're not together?
Oh my gosh. I don't know where to start with that one.
Well, I've seen all the like DV stuff and all of that. That was
okay. Yeah. I thought you didn't know anything that happened. And I was like, where do I begin?
I knew that, but I didn't know if that like ended them.
Yeah, so they did. Yeah, so they did break up. She just did a big interview on the Vile Files, telling like why they broke up, and the whole like the police and all that. Yeah, she said. Or no, they said a woman in the report said they were picked up and thrown. She's now still saying on the Vile Files she wasn't hurt. Like her language is very like, she never says he didn't throw me. She just says I wasn't hurt. So it's very, it's very, it's hard to say because we don't want to say Allie's a liar, and we've heard these things about James because only she knows her experience, right? But then people are frustrated, like you're still covering for him, so only they know what really happened. But yeah, he's still doing his like DJ stuff, which people aren't happy about. But he's not been charged with anything, so it's very like murky. But he probably will not be on the Valley if that's where.
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, James wasn't.
I know. I'm like, this is a huge.
My favorite anyway. Like he he wasn't like they made for good TV. Yeah. They made for good TV. So.
Well, and I think because he was always terrible to women on the show, we saw that for so many years, and I think obviously people rallied around him in this last couple of seasons of Vanderpump because he was calling out Sandoval, right? Whereas like Schwartz and all the other men and Lisa were like apologizing for him. Yeah. So, it was like, okay, he's sticking up for Ariana and none of the other men are. So it was hard not to like be happy about that. But then, we have his whole past and he's still acting that way. So it's like, But that was
a little detour. That's a little Vanderpump detour. Okay. So let's get into season episode 1.
I was going to say, I know people have a lot of opinions about James. And obviously he is a little bit relevant to this because Kristen is on the show. Yeah, and so, we saw the way he treated Kristen and they had a toxic, terrible relationship. And from this stuff that's happened with Allie, like, doesn't seem like he has changed at all. But he's not on the Valley, so.
He's not on the Valley.
We'll go back
to... Kristen Doty is one of, like, I just feel like she is, like, reality TV royalty. Like, she's such a hot mess, but she makes great TV. Like, I was so happy to see her back on my screen because she just... I don't know. It's almost, she's just so good. Like, you know, like
she belongs there.
She belongs belongs there. Yes, like.
And it's been nice to see her growth. You know, the way she started out with Sandoval, and then the James, and it was not good on Vanderpump for her ever. And then, but I mean, she has been vindicated in so many ways, because I don't know how much of Vanderpump you watch, but like she knew that Sandoval had cheated back then and brought in the girl from Miami, and nobody believed her. She was called crazy. And so, it's good to see her finally getting some respect. So
right, yeah. She's like, I told y'all, you guys called me crazy Kristen. I mean, she is crazy, but still, like, she's crazy in the best way. I'm like, the Valley wouldn't be the same without her, and Vanderpump definitely wouldn't have been the same without her. No,
she is like, she made the show. So yeah, so they start the episode off with like a little intro into what all of the couples have been up to. So we left off last season with Michelle and Jesse announcing that they're getting separated, picking up now like they are still in the middle of a separation, and it is not going well. They are, he is redeeming himself, I think, a little bit to people in this episode, because last season he was just terrible. But I think people they do seem to be coming around to him a little bit. So like his moment with Kristen and having the little apology. What did you think about that? Did you think that was sincere? Or
it seemed sincere, but I don't know, because in his confessionals he seems to like just do things with motive and like for a reason. So I'm like, I don't know if he just did that because it's sincere, or because he's like you said, like, whose side are you on? Like, if you had to pick a side, you know what I mean? So
that's what it was.
That's what it was giving, right?
Yeah, like I know he knows that Kristen is a fan favorite, and obviously Michelle is really close with Britney, and so he's got to find a place here on the show, right? He's friends with Jax a little, but like if he's fighting with Kristen and obviously fighting with Michelle, like he's not really got a place on the show. So I think he had no choice but to apologize. So I think part of it was sincere. Like I do think he sees now that maybe he did get cheated on, but I think, I don't know. I think he had motive for sure. Like he says things in a way where it's like he's insulting Michelle, but like trying to be nice. Like when, he just always has to get like a little dig in when he's like, Michelle moved out and now I can breathe. And like, he's very calculated in what he says. So
I think last season, like in the first season, I think it was really apparent, like, oh, this couple hates each other. Like they're not gonna make it. Like they do not like each other. So it wasn't a surprise to me to hear that they were divorcing, but the dynamic between the two of them, it's like it's gonna get messy, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out, because like hearing that she possibly cheated on him, no surprise, because you know, when women are not feeling emotionally connected to their husbands, I'm not saying go cheat, that is not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying like it happens, you know what I mean? So I'm really curious to see how that dynamic plays out. And then at the white party where he's just like ruffling her feathers for no reason, like, why are we talking about if maybe kind of sort of you might move to Orange County, but like you're not moving right now, so who gives a damn? Like they're like, did you just say that to get a rise out of her? He's like 100%.
Yes, he went into that party. That's what I mean about him being like calculated. Like he's definitely went into that party sober, and he probably knew she'd be drinking because she seems a little more shy and like someone that gets a little nervous and probably needs a drink to be on camera. And so he definitely went in there with the intention to get her to look stupid. And I think I don't think she looked bad, but I mean, going back to like her, like everyone suspected that she had this boyfriend for a year, like Kristen said it last season, and she does look a little guilty of that with her whole like, oh, we saw each other at coffee shops and on hikes. It's like, because you organized those, or
because you were going on dates.
I think, like you said, for women, I think they like emotionally leave first, and like I don't know that she maybe physically or didn't physically cheat on him, but I think she knew she wanted to get out of the marriage. And then I think the show like came up in the filming, and so she's kind of sticking around for that. But I think she definitely like had this set up with the new boyfriend before leaving Jesse. Like I definitely think there was some overlap there,
for sure. It seems like it.
And we don't like a cheater, so that's not good. And then there's other cheating things he keeps bringing up too, like with the last season was the director, which, she is a realtor, so she has her business meetings, so who knows? I think he obviously, like she said, he's going to try to make her look really bad and ruin her life, so he's working hard on that. So
yeah.
and I don't
do
think
we think that he's cheated, or if you've
I don't know,
cheated
'cause
with Jesse while he was married, come forward, email us.
yeah. Yeah, give us the tea, because he has a girlfriend too. So I thought
Right.
that was interesting. Like, I don't know if that was calculated on his part or if there's other reasons, but her being there with her new boyfriend and him being there alone definitely gave the vibe, like, played up to her cheating of it, where he's doing the exact same thing. He has a girlfriend that he's talking about moving to Orange County with, right? So he's
Yeah.
also fully moved on. So I don't know
Right.
why the girlfriend didn't film, but
Right.
it definitely would have given a different dynamic to have them both there with new partners. So it would have been
Yeah.
like, okay, you're the same. Whereas he's
Right.
there alone and it didn't look good. But that was so awkward how they were talking so much in front of her boyfriend.
He was just standing there.
Yeah. And then, like, the way he, like, interjected and was like, you buy her too much stuff, like, about his own, like, as much as I'm not necessarily Team Jesse at all, but I was like, he held his cool there really well. Because for someone to be dating your ex, talking about how you should treat your kids or how you should parent, like, that is not cool. So, like, I wanted to like her boyfriend, but I'm like, that was not
Right.
okay. Like,
Right.
that's not your business, you know?
Yeah, you can't tell someone how to parent.
No.
Like, you know? It's like, you
Yeah,
just
that's-
got here, sir. Sit down.
Yeah. Like, that is not your child. So,
Right. Back off.
yeah. I know, I just realized that we just talked about them all the way to the end of the show, but there's so much happened before that. But they're
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to be, like, the most interesting couple. Like, obviously, there's all the Jax and Britney stuff, but I think we hear about so much of that in the news
In
that,
the
like,
news, yeah.
we already know everything that happened, whereas this
Yeah.
dynamic feels, you know, there's the new boyfriend, and they're very, like, you can tell they just hate each other. So.
Yeah, it's gonna get messy. You could tell, well, at least it seems like from this first episode, like, they're gonna have really big roles in this season, and like
Yeah.
the drama of it all.
Yeah.
You got cheating, you got divorce, you got new boyfriends, you got, you know what I mean? Like, you got, you know, two people bumping heads. Like, it's gonna be,
Yeah. And
which seems to be like exactly what's going on with Jax and Britney, actually.
I know, right? Yeah. They're pretty much like neck and neck for, like, drama of them.
Yeah.
Because what did you think about what happened? Like, obviously, Jax and Britney both gave their side of the story, which sounded the same. It sounded like they
sounded the
both
same.
said what happened. So, do you think he accidentally saw those messages, or he was looking for something?
Oh, he was looking for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, like, I don't know what is with, like, people linking their messages to, like, the iPad and then just,
No.
like, letting it, I mean, I guess
It's
if you don't
weird.
have anything to hide, like right now,
Yeah.
like, I have my sister's laptop and her messages are synced and I see them come up, but, like, in no world would I go, like, read them.
Let me see
and
what
be
she's
like,
talking
"Let me
about."
see if she's talking about me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've heard so many stories like that where, like, husbands, or usually it's the husbands, have their messages linked and they're doing something inappropriate because they have the kid playing on the iPad and they're just, like,
Yeah.
willy-nilly with it. But he was for sure looking. Like, you know, he probably saw something pop up, which then intrigued him to go look at the rest of them. But
Yeah.
regardless, you read the messages intentionally, so.
Yeah, and I don't understand, like, I think right before filming started, there was some stuff in the press with Jax bringing, like, a woman to Jax's, his little restaurant, and she was at, like, Ariana's brother's birthday, and, like, so he had been out and about with women, so I don't know what he was so mad about. I guess it's different once you, like, see the messages and the pictures, and I think for Jax, it's more of, like, a control thing, like,
Yeah.
he's losing control of Britney. Like, I don't think he actually wants to be with her or sleep with her, but he doesn't want her with anyone else. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see why he would be upset if it's like, if it's true that she had said, let's work on our marriage, and then you see, I don't think it was clear the time frame of, like, them having a conversation about working on their marriage versus the text, because it's like, if we talked about working on our marriage on a Thursday and these texts are from 2 weeks ago, yeah, it's upsetting to see it, but, like, we're just now having the conversation about, like, you know, but regardless, like, you flipping over a table and doing all that and getting aggressive in that sense that's never okay. So
No.
I think it's just,
He has such a rage, like, he's such a
yeah.
rage problem, and I don't know
Yeah.
how, like, as someone who, like, I don't live in, like, we don't really, like, fight and yell like that, and so
Yeah.
I think that's all they did all the time for
Mm-hmm.
years, and
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how someone can live that way, regardless of whatever other issues Jax has and, like, his
Right.
partying, but
Right.
for me, it would be that, like, it's like she said, he would come down from, because he's obviously admitted he had a drug problem, and
Mm-hmm.
his come downs were, like, full of rage all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been like a bad incident like that earlier, and I'm glad that she isn't going to put up with it. And like
Yeah.
she did say like she filed a restraining order. I don't remember seeing that. Like I know everyone in the news talked about the divorce filings.
Mm.
I don't remember if like seeing a restraining order. Obviously, I don't think they could. I guess they're not filming together, but I don't know if she actually went through with that or what happened. Maybe because he went to the rehab, she didn't actually do that part. We'll probably see that on the next episode.
Yeah. Maybe,
So.
well, because we see him get served with something, so.
Yeah. So Brittany's man that she was texting, do you know about that?
Well, I seen on the show that but anything outside of the show, no. Like obviously, I just know what they say. Like he was a close friend.
Yeah.
Not a close friend. Like,
Yeah.
you want to play? Let's play. Like,
Yeah.
so
I know. We love Brittany for that.
Got some inside scoop. Not her.
Well,
Now she
so
smashed the homie. Oh no. Okay.
Well, and he smashed her homie because he hooked up with Lala too. So they had like, I know. Yeah, they had a little thing, and I actually saw the after show with Lala and Brittany, and Lala was like crying over it because she felt silly because everyone knew but her. And then she didn't cry over that part. She cried over because then she was upset at first, and like her and Brittany had to have a sit down. And then
So
she said,
Lala was upset that Brittany hooked up with this guy because Lala had also hooked up with him. Like, did Lala have a relationship with him, or it was just like a hookup?
I don't know. I don't even know if they actually hooked up. I think they never really gave any details. That they just had like a thing. So whether that was like a going on dates or talking or they actually hooked up, but they had a thing. So
Okay.
yes, and so but then Lala was not upset when she heard that he like made Brittany feel good and all like she was so like depressed with how Jax treated her, and then this guy like turned it all around. But then I think it turns out he's no good because he like played himself off as a single dad to Lala and Brittany and everyone in the group, but he had like a whole fiance the whole time, and so I know. So unfortunately,
His baby
Brittany,
mama or somebody else?
no, like yeah, I think his baby mama. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's why I don't date men with kids because
No.
that baby mama is always more than just the baby mama.
Yeah, they're always getting back together, and so I don't know exactly.
None of that's going to be captured on the show. That's good stuff.
I know. I don't know. It might be. I hope it is. They talked about it on the after show, so that makes me feel like it won't be because they don't like spoil things usually. But yeah, they really should. Like we should talk to this mom because I don't know unless they're back together.
That's
but I
good
know.
stuff. Like I would have loved to see all of that play out on camera, right? Like Lala finding out that Brittany is messing with this guy, and now they're having a discrepancy over it, and then Brittany moving forward with this guy and finding out he ain't shit. Like that's good TV.
And I think the problem is they took too long of a break between filming because they wrapped in like August and then they didn't start again until July. So it was like almost a year. So I think all this stuff happened between filming. Because like when they pick up these cameras, this is when this fight happened. So her hooking up with this guy named Julian was happening all in those last few months before filming. So they kind of missed that. Like I'm shocked that they didn't start filming earlier because there was so much going down. Like
right,
with that
I kept
separation.
seeing stuff in the news, and I just figured they're gonna pick up the cameras, kind of like they did with Scandal. You know
we
what
kept
I mean?
saying like they're missing this. Like I know Vanderpump always filmed over the summer, like June to August, so they seem like stuck to this filming schedule over the summer. But for this show, is a different show. I think they should have picked up like a few months before.
Or if they know that all of this commotion's going on, like. Even if you're not set to film, like just film, just like Scandal. Like they weren't filming during all of this, but they picked up and they're like, we got to get this, you know? So
yeah, because it would have been really good to see this hooking up with Julian and whatever went down. So I got to research more, so maybe we'll talk about it next time. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is Brittany said on the after show, like he's bad, so we don't like him anymore. So she has a bad picker because she went from Jax to Julian.
I mean, Jax, I don't know. Jax showed, Brittany knew who Jax was when she married him. You know what I mean? And I don't know why us as women do that. Like, we just like want to look past all of the red flags. And like, she held on for a really long time. Like, she, I'm surprised they stayed married this long, because Jax has always had these anger issues. He's always been just so full of himself, arrogant, asshole. Like, or do they still do their podcast together or no?
Not anymore. They finally stopped like a few months ago. So he has his own now, and she took over the old one by itself. So, but yeah, I mean, the best advice I can give to anyone ever in life is like, if you have kids with someone, like, things need to be so good, and they need to be like such a good person and like helpful and not like a lazy person, because once you have a child, like, things get a million times worse. And if they're not pulling their weight or like doing things when you don't have a child, like, once you do, I don't even know, like, I don't know how Brittany did it, because I can't even imagine dating Jax, let alone trying to parent with him. So I mean, like you said, women always, we make this mistake, we think we can change them or that they will just grow up eventually. But it's hard to see like what her thinking was and like why she would have married him or had a baby with him.
She got her beautiful baby out of it, so that's a blessing. Because I'm like, at one point last season, weren't they talking about having another baby? That's so crazy. Like, ew.
I know. And Jax likes to bring that up as like, if I'm so terrible, why were you talking about having another baby with me? But it's like, so they must have had some good parts, so that doesn't mean he wasn't terrible.
They were married for so long, like, you don't, I imagine that a lot of that was miserable, but they had a bond of some sort. So.
Yes, but I'm glad she's finally realized. I love how many times she was like, "You're 45." Like, she's like, you could tell. I think that was probably a part of it, where she was like, eventually he's gonna grow up, right? Like, when they met, he was like late 30s, which, like you said, sometimes it takes till the 40s to finally like. But he's 40. Like, he's not changing now. This is who he is.
This is who he is. Yeah.
It seemed like she probably was waiting. Like, okay, once we're out of the Vanderpump and the show, like, things will get better. And she just sort of realized they're never gonna change.
Yeah, and Brittany was always so sweet on Vanderpump. Like, I just always thought, she's just really great. She always had like a zest for life, if you will. So I'm glad that she's finally leaving. I am glad she had a little boo for a little bit. I hope, I don't think she'll have any trouble finding love. Like, Brittany's hot, so and
Jax is just gonna have to get over it. So
he's gonna have to get over it.
Funniest part to me was Jax and Schwartz's little sit down, because I just know he was like, because everyone gave him so much heat for not like holding Sandoval accountable and like just being like whatever about his affair, because he knew the whole time. And so I just know they set up this little scene to like help him out a little, like, okay, you gotta lay down the law for Jax and act like what's good. And he's not really caring probably like what Jax is doing. He's never been the one to hold people accountable.
He's always been a fucking wussy pussy. Like, that's always been my biggest like thing about, like, you're just a punk. Like, you are a punk. Like God, like, say something, anything. But I always like Schwartz, and I feel like he got a lot of heat for Tom Sandoval's mess. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
But he didn't know. It's hard, because you're like, that isn't him, that's his friend.
Yeah.
But when you know that, like, Ariana was a best man in his wedding to Katie.
But what did you expect him to do? Like, because when I think about it right now, like, my best friend in the world, if she was doing something trifling, am I going to go tell her partner? No. I'm not. Like, she's my best friend. Like, I'm gonna freaking, I'm gonna have her back.
See, apparently a good friend won't do that, and they will, like, I'm not saying this is what I would do. This is what people have said. Like, if you are a good friend, you call out your friends on their bullshit,
Absolutely.
Right? And you say, like, you wouldn't go tell their partner, that's a little far, but you might tell them, like, you need to end this.
Yeah, but we don't know what he was telling him in private. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he was telling him that in private, Like, I would 100%
But
tell
they
my
like
friend,
went
like,
on
girl,
a trip together. They went on like
yeah. He's stupid. Like, you know
No,
what
I
I
like
mean? To be like,
I
I'm
like
not going to
this.
condone this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
No,
To be like, I'm not going to. I get it. Like, I get it. Because I think about it from a perspective of my friends. Like, if my friend, if my girl was like doing her partner dirty, like, am I going to tell her, like, they don't deserve this? Like, they've been good to you? Like, that's not right? Absolutely. Like, I've been in those situations before. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it's not right. But also, if she's going on a trip with her boo, and she calls me and like, oh, I think my partner found out about it, I need a lot, help me, I'm a helper. Like, you know what I mean?
Would you feel comfortable going on a double date with a man and then your friend and the guy she's having an affair with, like on a trip double date, and then knowing you still got to hang out with the partner? Knowing you did this trip, shady.
I've done it. Like, that's not like that's not like, yeah. Like, I've done it. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like, I have, without which I don't think anybody. Whatever. I've done it. Like,
don't put the pieces together.
Yeah, like one of my best friend, long-term partner for a long time. She had the side piece, and we all. The thing is I loved the side piece. Oh. He was so cool. Oh, we got along really well. Like, I thought he was like a really good fit for her. I thought their energies matched. But then it's like, I also loved her partner. Like, her partner, he's been around for years and years and years. Like, I love them both. And it's like, I didn't judge her. Would I tell her it's wrong? You shouldn't do this to so-and-so? Yes. And then she's like, you want to go to Vegas with the side piece? I'm like, we all, I used to hang out, like, maybe I'm a fake bitch. I used to hang out with the boo, the main, and the side. And it's like, it was just all about, like, I'm not judging my friend, but I am telling her the real. I never said it's okay. I would tell her, like, I'm not going to be a yes man and be like, oh, what you're doing is perfectly fine. No, it's not. But also, besides tell her, what can I do? I can't make the decision for her. I guess I could not hang out with them both. But
I think it just depends, right? I think for some people that they wouldn't be able to do it. Like, they wouldn't be able to look at the partner knowing they were with the side piece. And some people are like, well, it's you. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do that. But you're making that choice, so that's not my choice. So I like this because I think a lot of people agree with you, and a lot of people agree with me. So it's good because that's why these shows are so entertaining, and we can talk about them because there is two sides to everything, right? And there's people that relate to everyone. So
I do think Schwartz got a bad end of the stick for Tom Sandoval's actions. Like, I feel like a lot of people took it out on Schwartz more than they should have. Like, it's really Sandoval that should be getting the heat. Like,
yeah, I think the only reason for me, just personally, because Schwartz was close with Ariana. If it was just Sandoval's his buddy and he knows his partner Ariana, but like doesn't really know her, that is whatever. But I think it's more that he was close with Ariana for so many years, and like she was in their wedding, that like they were friends on their own without.
Right.
You know what
friends
I mean? That's the only
place. Like, in my situation, I was not friends with either partner on their own. Like, our only connection was my friend. You know what I mean? So I didn't have any relationship with either one of them outside of her, which I guess with Schwartz, he had a long-standing relationship with
I think that was the only place where people were upset with him. Because, if you're that's your friend and they're doing that to their partner, but the partner's not your friend and shouldn't really expect anything from you. You're going to be loyal to your friend. That is different. But it's just because they were close too. So it was sort of like, but it's definitely people that agree with both sides. So but I thought that scene was just trying to give him a little redemption. Like, you got to call out your friends, because people are starting to think that you are, because you're excusing that behavior, that's what you would do too. So but I'm also, I love Katie, so I'm always like, some of the things that Schwartz did to her, I'm like, a lot of people think they're just better off without each other, and they both seem happier. Have you seen Schwartz lately, like on the red carpets and stuff? Yeah.
Has he
I don't know.
been?
I don't know.
outside?
He doesn't seem. Yeah, you live in LA. Maybe you could run into him if he's single.
I'm
But
sure I could go.
he's in the age range.
Jax's. He's in the age range. No, thank
Yeah,
you.
we
Schwartz
actually
is too much of a bitch for me. Like I'd like say something, stand up.
Yeah.
Be a man.
That was the only thing. He didn't defend Katie, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
ever.
it's hard
Yeah.
to ever be like Schwartz is a great guy. He's not a bad guy,
He's not a
but
bad
he's
guy,
not like a
but
great.
he's not
He was just kind of.
He's a punk.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a punk. Women want they want somebody that's going to defend them, stand up for them, have their back, not always be trying to please everybody else. Like you're worried about pleasing everybody else except your partner. Like
Yeah, totally.
So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Jax's, they did a little watch party there last night.
Yeah, I should have went.
Yeah, you live close by, right?
Yeah,
I went.
I live like 15 minutes away. Which I wonder to myself how that bar is like actually doing, because every time I've been there, it's very dead. And it's a very big establishment. It's not like a small bar. It's a lot of space,
Mm-hmm.
So
I went when I was there in December. Mm-hmm. It was like a Sunday. I don't know what the date was. Maybe like the 27th or 28th. So like it was the holidays, which it might be a quieter time, but it was like totally, we were the only people on the patio. It was empty. Inside was a bit better. The next door place, Rocco's, was like packed. So
yeah,
I think people go there more, and this one's probably busier when the show's on. But also, it was a Sunday afternoon, so that's just a random time. But
also
I got
Rocco's. That's like it's a sports bar. So Jax's is a sports bar. So you would think a Sunday afternoon is sports time.
Well, yeah, there was football on, so it was a little surprising, but. I got the Mama's beer cheese, Britney's thing on the menu, and when people were there last night, they were posting pictures, and he crossed it out with felt. Did you see that?
I seen that. Like he crossed it out. How was the beer cheese?
It was good. I mean, it's cheese, like it was what I expected it to be. So
okay.
I was like, I just have to try it. I've heard about it for so many years, but
for sure.
Yeah, it was. Not a culinary delight, but it was like it was like Cheese Whiz-ish, like similar.
Cheese Whiz-ish, she said, not a culinary delight.
Do you guys have Cheese Whiz there? Is that
Canadian? We do.
Oh, okay.
It's not good.
Like the grainy cheese, but I think that's what it's supposed to be, right? Like beer cheese. Yeah. So it was good, but apparently not there anymore. So
okay, all right.
I know, I'm disappointed. I was hoping, because Britt was supposed to open her own bar. And now that's not happening apparently. So
I don't know if to open up a bar and a restaurant, because didn't even Schwartz and Sandy's close down too. Like it's hard to keep it
I went there last year too, and I knew it wasn't going well because a lot of the things on the menu they didn't have available. So that was last January. So they still stayed open for like the whole year, but yeah, it wasn't a great location, that one. It was like a strip mall.
Yeah, wasn't a great location, but all of them are basically closed now. Like except for
Tom Tom's good. I've been there. It's nicer.
You would think I went to these places since they're right here, but
I've
been to Pump. I've been to Pump. I've been to what's the first one?
Oh, Villa Blanca.
I've been to Villa Blanca.
Sir.
I've been to Sir. Like, but these are all places I had.
I've never been to Sir.
I watched the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like before I watched the show, I had been to these places. Like Villa Blanca had really good food. Sir had really good food, and it was really vibey. So it used to be the SHIT back in the day.
Well, I'm coming to visit, and we're gonna go to Jax's for a watch party. Except for I don't think Brittany will be there, so I don't know if we want to see Jax. But
yeah, when I went,
wait, we shouldn't say that.
Jax wasn't there. Jax wasn't there, so
no.
But maybe if I go with the season while the season's on, I could go.
Yeah, I think they do little watch parties. I saw Sandoval was there doing karaoke last night. So when I was at Schwartz and Sandy's, he was there. So yes, I got some funny videos. That was like right after the tiger incident. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but he had a lot of stories. So
that's funny.
Yes, I know. I'm like, you go to Schwartz and Sandy's, of course you're going to see him, but I just had to check it out. I just had to see it.
Yeah, of course. So. Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, we got way off topic.
Yeah, anyway. Well, who's the last couple?
There's more than one last couple.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay. Go.
Sorry, guys. There's just so much to talk about with these shows.
I know, and because we haven't seen them in so long, so it's like fun.
There's so much to catch up on.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, how about we talk about Nia and Danny? Because they're not drama. They're like the opposite of the other two couples we just talked about.
Yeah,
So,
they are. Having
do
another
you...
baby is crazy.
It is. I know. They're so sweet, but like
They're cute, yeah.
I don't want to be mean, but I'm like I could do without them. Or like they just don't feel like they fit into the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I think they're there because we need a healthy couple. We need a happy couple, and it's not like no one else is giving that really. Well, I guess Janet is, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the baby. Like I'm not that into that storyline. So maybe people that are like trying to have babies and are in that space.
3 and then like pretending like you're going to have another one. I think them saying that they're going to have a baby is just to give them a storyline. I don't think.
No. She's pregnant. Oh, she's fully. Yeah. I love breaking the news for you. It's awesome. Yeah, no, they're doing it. She's like just had her baby showers. Yeah,
So they're going to have 4 under 4?
Yeah, they are brave because I had 2 4 years apart, and that was wild enough for me. So I can't even imagine. Like,
I love that I have not been keeping up with these people, and
I
this
do
is
too.
pure shock to me. Like I'm like, oh, they're just doing it for a storyline. You're like, no, she's pregnant.
Yeah, fully, they're doing it. So yeah, I don't get it because they struggled with 3 under 3, and anybody would. That's a lot, but yeah, that's something that kind of bothers me about them, but that's just my personal thing, is that they do put their kids in like TV shows, and so they're like child actors.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't know what they do for jobs. Like I don't know if that's their income. Like they have the kids acting, and so that's their income. Like I don't love the whole mom blogger putting your kids on screens thing. So for me, I find it weird. But like he was an actor, and they grew up there, so maybe it's more normal there. I don't know.
Okay.
But
that's crazy. 4 under 4. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I think just with all the other drama, like you said, they need somebody happy and healthy. So love that for them.
If they weren't there, it would be a hot mess. So I think, they're sweet.
I mean, I think that if they weren't there, they wouldn't be missed. You know what I mean? Like we'd be all about the mess.
Yes, but what's interesting is in the summer, like while it was filming, Jax was doing podcasts, and he was saying a lot about Danny and like that he's not how he is on camera, and he's not the sweet guy that he portrays to be, and that he alluded to a lot of things. I made a couple of videos about it back then, like clips. I'll have to pull them up again. But
so messy.
He is. He saw all the love that they got for being so like wonderful, and he was like, "Let me just doing this."
Yeah, I mean, something's great about him. She's still married to him. They're still having kids. They're growing their family. Which to some people, I know, to me, I'm like, I don't have any kids, so it's like 4 under 4 sounds like insane. But to some people, they just
I don't even know how they do it.
They love being a mom. They love the family dynamic. So what works for them works for them. So kudos to them. But
yeah, are they living in an apartment? Is that what that showed?
It looks like it, right?
Yeah, that would be a lot. But
with all them kids.
I understand why they want to move. Like, I think they should definitely move to a bigger house in a like different area. But then I don't know how they would do that with the jobs that they're doing. So yeah, I'm sure. Like, I don't think anyone has like an easy, boring storyline. It sounds like everyone's gonna get spicy. So I'm sure we will see more. They were sweet and peaceful in this episode.
Yeah,
that's so funny that you didn't know she's pregnant. I didn't
know that she's doing it for a fucking storyline. There's no way. There's no way.
I love it. That's so good.
No way, actually. Yeah.
I told you I got all the lore for you. So
yes, thank you. Okay.
Yes, I got. Do you know the lore on Janet and Jason?
So no, I don't know the lure, but I see what's happening on TV. You know what I mean? That apparently he takes off his ring when he goes out in public and he ain't shit, or what?
Right. I think that's what they're trying to say. They have a podcast too, because everybody does now, just like us. So we're no better. But they said kind of like laughing it off, like it wasn't a thing. I don't know. I am someone that never, like, I don't like jewelry at all, and I never wore my wedding ring, and I eventually got a tattoo because I wouldn't wear my ring. So, not saying that that's his excuse, but sometimes people don't wear them for non-nefarious reasons, but who knows? I think they needed some kind of storyline, but we'll see.
Okay, was that just a storyline? Because it piqued my interest, because I thought that they were like a really cute couple. They seem very happy. They just had a baby. He's very handsome. You know what I mean? So I thought, oh my God, like how lovely. Like, and then I heard that and I was like,
yeah.
So.
I know. People do not like Janet. I really don't mind her. Like, see, I love Kristen, so she, they had that fight, so that kind of makes, I don't want to pick sides with them, because that is the reason why most people don't like Janet, is the way she came for Kristen. So, but I think, because
no, there's something off about Janet to me. I don't know. I wonder if that's who they were talking about in the preview, where they were like, you give Karen energy.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think Janet gives Karen energy, so...
See, her husband's a lawyer and my husband's a lawyer, and so I think I just like relate to her in that way. Okay. So I'm biased, right? Like she's still doing some crappy things, so like I can't be like, I just like her because I feel like she has a similar life to mine, but really we don't at all. So just because our husbands have the same job, that doesn't mean anything. But she mentioned being married before, and so she did.
Janet was married before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she lived, I can't remember where, but like Midwest somewhere, let's say. And then she was married, and I'm not sure if she got divorced before or after this happened, but she like came to LA and like went to a party, and like Sheena happened to be there. And so she like befriended Sheena and then ditched her like Midwestern life and like moved to LA and is now in this group. And so people say like, oh, she's been trying to get on shows for years and like trying to get into the Vanderpump world, and now she did it. So I'm like, good for her. But I don't know if she got divorced before or after that happened. So
okay.
But then she met Jason. Jason also went on dates with Sheena. Yes, it's such a incestuous group here.
It is such an incestuous group. It's very Vanderpump. Okay, like it is so interesting to me that. Just how interesting these people's lives are, right? Like, because you would think that a group of like mid-40s, like, oh, what the hell could be going on? And it just like mess has no age.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, T has like, everyone thinks like you have to be young and in your 20s to have like this messy life. It's almost better when you're older and you have money and you have like friend groups and you have divorces and you have it's
bigger problems,
it's
right?
Messy. It's just messy, and I love it.
I know. I was saying that to my husband last night because he watched this one with me, because it's one of the few I can get him to watch, because he's been watching this one, like Vanderpump, from early days with me, and I'm like, it's so funny, because when Britney was saying Jax is 45, and I'm like, oh, like they're getting so old now, but I'm like, I guess like so are we too. We all just keep aging, and so do they, and they just keep going.
Right.
So we keep watching, and they keep going and making shows for us. So it's perfect.
Yeah, it's so good. Good stuff. Yeah. It's good stuff.
But not much going on with Janet and Jason. I mean, they had a baby, and the snot thing was gross. As a parent, I've never used that, so. Good for you if you do, but I think I've heard of them.
My sister uses one.
Does she?
One. But it's supposed to have a stopper. But I think the only thing that was going on with Janet is like her talk with Kristen. What'd you think of that? Like,
I mean, I thought she was like she's trying to apologize, and like that's what happens in these worlds, right? They have to like they do bad things to each other. They apologize. They got to move on, or they don't have a show, right? So. I thought what she accused Kristen of was really bad. Like you didn't want me to have my pregnancy. I was laughing about that too last night. Like, these are so funny how it's gone from like sleeping with each other's boyfriends to now it's like, you don't want my pregnancy to go full term. Like, it's just such weird insults now. But like I understand Kristen being angry, because that's pretty bad accusation.
A bad thing to say about somebody.
Yeah, and I know we don't like when people like weaponize their pregnancy like that. Like, people thought Lala did that like last season in Vanderpump, of a lot of like, well, I'm pregnant so I can do this, or you can't do this to me. So I don't know. Like, I think it was on the after show, her husband was talking about like Kristen could forgive Jesse and move on, and it was fine, but like with Janet, she won't let it go. And so and I guess they've been really close. Like, when Janet got engaged, Kristen was like one of the few friends there. I didn't realize that they had such a big friendship before. So I kind of feel like Kristen should just let it go.
I think she should let it go, but I do see Kristen's point of view of like, you're giving me I hate the word gaslighting. I literally hate it. I feel like everyone uses it, and I feel like people use it wrong. But I understood what Kristen was saying when it's like, you're not even like apologizing. You're like kind of giving me like a backhanded apology. Like, I'm sorry for grouping you in with him instead of just saying, I'm sorry for saying it. Like, I shouldn't have said it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think if she
and like calling him demonic or something, it's like, that's not going to help anything.
Right, because you looped me into that. So you're kind of like calling me demonic by default. So I think if she gave her a proper apology, one thing about Kristen that we've seen even since Vanderpump, she's very forgiving. Like, she's forgiven for a lot of things. So I think she'll forgive her.
Yeah, I think there's not much else they can say about that situation. So they kind of just have to let it go. Although, like you said from the trailer, it doesn't look like it gets better, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Because that whole Karen energy from Jasmine. Do you know what Jasmine is from? Mm-mm. So she was on The Bachelor, Nick Viall's season. He was a Bachelor.
Oh, see, I'm not a Bachelor fan. I never watched The Bachelor.
I used to watch it back then. And so she was one of his contestants. And she did this, like, famous thing where she, like, I can't remember if she slapped him or tried to choke him or something. Yeah. She
not violence.
Yeah, she got a little crazy on him. But so, yeah, now she's obviously engaged to a woman. So she's not, like... I mean, dating Nick Viall could do that to anyone, so. Just kidding. Not to be Gabby with that, but she, I don't know, there wasn't much happening with them either. They introduced her. Her fiance wasn't on last season, was she? I don't remember seeing her. Maybe they showed her a little bit, but I think they're more a part of the story.
Okay.
This season, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then did we see Zach at all?
Barely.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Zach?
Zach, you know, they call him like Lego head with his hair.
Oh, yeah. We only seen him at, barely. We only seen him at that scene with Kristen where they were at lunch and they were talking about...
yeah. Oh, with Nia. Yeah,
they were with Nia and they were talking about,
Jax.
And they were talking about Jax and Britney, and then they were talking about Kristen's beef with... Janet, yeah, so.
Yes, I know. This is something I was thinking last night. They do have a lot of cast members on this. Like, I could do with a few less. Like, I don't even want to say who I would cut out because I like everybody, but...
Well, we already said we'd cut out Nia and her man.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's just me. I don't like the let's have a baby story.
Fun.
And
we don't
you're too
like
nice.
Happiness. We like mess.
Go back to Michelle and Jesse. We want to see the drama. So, yeah, I feel like there's just so much going on with some of the couples that we don't really have room for all these other stories. I want to see more.
We don't have room for happiness and babies.
No. Take your happy marriage and get out of here. Go to another show. We don't want to see the healthy dynamics here. This is not the place for it. So, yeah, I'm sure we do need all of them to add later, though. It is what it is. But yeah, it is a lot of people for a 1 hour episode.
Yeah, it was. So I would, I mean, but it looks jammed packed with exciting things. So I'm excited to see where the season goes, and I think it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, we see Jax's rehab next week, it looks like. So, and I have heard a few of them say, like, all the stuff happened that never even made it to the press. So, like, it does feel a little bit like we already know everything that's going to happen, but apparently we don't. So we'll see.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if you remember from last season, but Jesse or someone was saying that Michelle was cheating on him with, like, a director. And so she finally named the director. And it was Quentin Tarantino, but she said she never slept with him. So they were just like business
really
meetings.
Big director.
Yeah, like the biggest.
Yeah.
So apparently it was, just friends or just work. So so I'm like, is there any other behind the scenes tea? I think we got all of it. So
no, you're covered. I think that's what's so interesting. Is like we've both become known for tea. Me so Love is Blind. That people come to me all the time like, can you get the tea on girl like Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck? I'd be like, what? What?
Yeah, that's not my wheelhouse.
No, it's not my wheelhouse. Like, you know what I mean? So people will do the same thing. Like, can you find out more about like what's going on with Jackson? And it's like if it's not something that I'm like super duper into, Like, sure, could I dig and find out? Sure. But, you know, if it's not something that I'm into or watch, like, I don't have the tea. Like, people are like, what's the tea on Married at First Sight? And I'm like, I don't watch the show. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. So I love that you have all the little nuances of, like, what's been going on. Because I'm like, the behind the scenes tea is where it's at. Like, that, all the stuff that happens off camera is, like, always more exciting than what happens on camera. So
I know. And Love is Blind always has the best off camera tea. I think because it's just these regular people, right? And so they haven't quite, like, everyone in their life is all of a sudden like, wait, you're on TV, and if you have secret kids or a secret boyfriend or girlfriend, like, that all comes out. So with these shows, like, these people have been on TV for years, so we already know a lot of their skeletons, so there's not too much going on. But I've always, or they know, or they can anticipate that their skeletons are going to come out because somebody knows who they are, you know? Yeah, it's a little more like, all their press is a little more calculated. So, you know what I would love? Do you know Britney and Jax have the same publicist? This Rikkii girl.
Wasn't it like a rumor that he was hooking up with the publicist, right?
Yeah,
I remember
like
seeing
Britney
that in the
blocked
news.
her.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that will be one of these storylines. They didn't put it in the trailer, but Britney did say on her podcast, like, because they didn't see the trailer before it came out. And so she was like, I was shocked at everything they didn't put into the trailer. So I think there's even more that we don't even see in the trailer.
Right.
So I would love to talk to her. She probably doesn't do her own interviews, but I would want to, Lori, their publicist, because I'm like, how do you be the publicist for these two people who are going after each other in the press? Like, how does that work? Because you would think your job is to, like,
conflict of interest, I would think.
Yeah. You'd think your job is to kill these stories negatively about your client, but you have two clients divorcing each other, and that's all they're doing. So
but they say no press is bad press. So I really think that as much as, like, people be like, oh, I don't want these negative stories out about me, they do. It's press. It's getting you talked about. So
yes, we're learning that more and more, how much stuff is, like, planned and how much behind the scenes is, like, you know, like, we noticed that so much with Love is Blind with Tyler's season of, like, the People magazine articles coming out of, like, glowing reviews of Tyler when all this stuff was going on. We're like, you're really not going to mention that? And that's when you realize how much the PR and the magazines are in together. Yeah. And you're like, we just say the truth here. But they can't tell us otherwise, but they have to try, I guess. So. But yeah, I wonder if that'll be a storyline, because that is something that we heard about last summer. So.
Yeah, for sure. I want to know. I'm here for it. I'm sat.
Yes.
Eyes are peeled. So I'm
so if anyone's got any behind the scenes tea, you know where to find us. So
I'm put that email right down below. You know, it can be anonymous if you want, but make sure it has a receipt.
Yes. All we need is receipts. We don't need to give your name, but receipts we need. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, this was so fun getting to tell you all these exciting Bravo things and hearing.
I know. I'm excited to watch the season, for real.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. So is that it? Is that all we got for today?
Yeah, I think that was good. The Valley is just jam-packed full of excitement.
Jam-packed, Yeah,
I think we talked about everything that happened, and that was just one episode, so there's going to be lots more.
We were like, oh, this is going to be a quick episode, like 30 minutes.
We never are.
Yapping. It's my favorite thing to do.
We love to yap.
Thank you for all of the updates and keeping me in the loop, and we will see you guys later.
Yes, happy dating. Go get us some good stories.
I'm going to go get you guys some good stories. I'm going to keep you guys updated.
Love it. Okay, see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.